Hello, you're watching VNA Bulletin. I'm Banga from Hanoi and now the headlines. The first session of the 14th National Assembly closes after 8 days of sitting. Export earnings from agro-forestry aquatic products hit $17.8 billion. Ho Chi Minh City International Travel Expo scheduled to take place in September. The first session of the 14th National Assembly concluded in Hanoi on July 29th after 8 days of sitting. More in the following report. In her closing speech, Chairwoman of the National Assembly Nguyễn Thị Kim Ngân said, with the spirit of responsibility, democracy and frankness, the legislature accomplished its key task, approving the organizational structure, appointing and approving high-ranking posts of state agencies. The National Assembly heard a government report on the implementation of socio-economic tasks in 2015 and the first 6 months of 2016. While acknowledging the government's efforts in managing the country's socio-economic development, the legislative body also pointed out shortcomings and weaknesses of sectors and fields needed to be solved in the coming time. The National Assembly requested the government to acquire the ideas and recommendations proposed by deputies to work out proper measures in the bid to reach the set targets for the remaining months of the year. Earlier, the deputies approved a resolution on the state budget balance for 2014, with 82.59% of them having yes vote. Also in the morning sitting, Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc presented a report on the socio-economic situation in the first 6 months of 2016, saying the country reaped positive outcomes with the macroeconomy being stable. He cited that the consumer price index expanded by 2.35% year-on-year, while credit growth stood at 8.16%. The exchange rate and foreign exchange market was stabilized with the foreign currency reserves reaching a record high. The country registered a trade surplus of $1.54 billion. The state budget collection increased by 6.1%, while the total social investment capital rose by 11.7%. The registered foreign direct investment capital reached $11.3 billion, and the FDI disbursement increased by 15.1%. However, the Prime Minister pinpointed difficulties and challenges facing the country, particularly high public debt, as it made up 62.2% of GDP at the end of 2015. The government's debt reached 15.3% of GDP, surpassing the allowed 50% threshold. The foreign debt was equal to 43.1% of GDP. Prime Minister Phuc proposed key solutions to spurring socio-economic development in the coming time, referring to embarking on the macroeconomic stability as a foundation for sustainable growth, developing strategic fields in combination with economic restructuring, removing barriers for businesses to develop, and promoting startup spirit and innovation. Vice Secretary of the Hanoi Party's Committee Ngo Thị Thanh Hằng has led a delegation to visit Switzerland with the aim of strengthening ties with its localities. During the visit from July 25th to 27th, the delegation had a working session with Lok Mathasat, Minister of Transport, Environment and Agriculture, and Mauro Pocha, Minister of Social Affairs, Employment and Health of Geneva State. Minister Bathasat shared local projects on urban waste treatment and public transport with the guests. Minister Pocha highlighted the measures the locality has taken to address unemployment and health care for the elderly and dependent people. On July 26, in the capital city of Bern, the Hanoi delegation met with Christophe Miech, General Secretary of the Municipal Agency for Judiciary, Local Affairs and Religion. The host shared experience in preserving cultural and religious heritage with the guests. Hằng expressed her hope for Hanoi to team up with Bern in conservation of cultural heritage. The delegation is scheduled to visit Spain and Italy during the tour. On July 29th, Mường Thanh Group inaugurated a 5-star hotel in the Lao capital city of Vientiane. This is the first overseas hotel invested by Mường Thanh, marking a new progress in its ambition to become the largest hotel chain developer in Indochina. The 37-story Mường Thanh Luxury Vientiane Hotel, with 331 rooms to the international 5-star standards, can accommodate 700 guests. Together with restaurants and bars to host formal guest events, the hotel also has the convention mall with the capacity of hosting nearly 1,000 people, along with entertainment and fitness services. The project is an evidence of the special friendship between two countries, Governor of Vientiane, Silavong Khuvatam said. He also expressed hope that the Vietnamese group will expand its investment to other sectors in Laos, contributing to socio-economic development in Laos. After 20 years of operation, the Mường Thanh Group is operating 50 hotels in Vietnam with a total of 8,700 employees. Export revenue from agroforestry aquatic products is estimated to reach $17.8 billion in the first 7 months of 2016, a yearly surge of 5.1%. According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, during the period, some 2.93 million tons of rice was sold abroad, bringing home $1.32 billion, down 18.4% and 14.4% in volume and value from the same time last year. In the same period, the country shipped abroad 122,000 tons of pepper, earning $988 million, up 26% in volume and 9% in value. Export value of coffee was $1.98 billion, while that of rubber was $705 million, down 15.6% and 15% respectively. About 69,000 tons of tea was exported for $110 million, up 4.9% in quantity and dwindling 2.1% in value. Of major farm exports, cashew nuts posted increases in both volume and value, with respective rises of 2.5% and 9%. The export value of aquatic products contributed $3.65 billion to the sector's overall revenue, up 3.3%. Key forestry products earned the country $3.98 billion, up 0.8%. The US, Japan, and China were leading buyers of Vietnamese aquatic and wood products. Vietnam has attracted $12.94 billion in foreign direct investment by July 20th, up 46.9% against the same period last year. The figures have been released by the General Statistics Office. Of the total, nearly $8.7 billion came from 1,408 new projects, with the remaining $4.24 billion from 660 added capital projects. Investors poured money into new projects across 47 provinces and cities nationwide in the period. The northern port city of Haiphong topped the country in attracting new FDI projects with nearly $1.84 billion, accounting for 21.2% of the total new registered FDI. It was followed by the capital city of Hanoi, the southern provinces of Bình Dương and Dong Nai. The southern largest economic hub of Ho Chi Minh City ranked 5th with $641.4 million, making up 7.4% of the total amount. The General Statistics Office has announced that the country's industrial production index rose 7.2% year-on-year in July. The following report will provide more details.
During the past 7 months, the manufacturing and processing sector grew 9.9%, electricity manufacturing and distribution rose 11.6%, water supply and wastewater treatment up 7%, while the mining sector dropped 2.7%. Industrial products, including television, steel, automobiles, and animal feed, posted significant growth, while apparel, coal, motorbikes, footwear, sugar, and crude oil experienced slight increases or decreases. Hải Phòng, Cần Thơ, Đà Nẵng cities, and Thái Nguyên, Quảng Nam, Bắc Ninh, Bình Dương, and Đồng Nai provinces recorded expanded scale of industrial manufacturing. The consumption index of the processing and manufacturing sector increased 6% annually in the first half of this year. The number of workers in industrial firms went up 5.3% year-on-year as of July the 1st, especially in the industrial hubs of Hải Phòng, Vĩnh Phúc, and Bình Dương.
The Prime Minister has given a nod to a project on gender-based violence prevention and control for the 2016-2020, prioritizing sectors and localities experiencing the prevalence of gender-based violence. The project aims to raise the awareness, capacity, and responsibility of all level authorities, agencies, and organizations concerned, and the community in the struggle against gender-based violence, with attention paid to vulnerable groups and those likely to commit violence. By 2020, it is expected all victims will be detected and receive timely support. The project targets the completion of mechanisms and policies on gender-based violence prevention and control to increase law enforcement and ensure that violence prevention and control services are rolled out nationwide, gearing towards a safe, equal, and violence-free environment. Of note, a model of cities that are safe and friendly towards women and girls will be launched in a bid to ensure public safety. The 12th Ho Chi Minh City International Travel Expo will take place in the southern metropolis from September 8th to 10th, with a view to attracting more foreign visitors to the country.
The organizing board said the event is expected to attract 270 stalls and nearly 200 foreign buyers, including travel operators from Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, and Myanmar. Nearly 30,000 visitors are expected to join the event, up 20 to 30% from 2015. For the first time, well-known travel bloggers from Denmark, France, Finland, Norway, and the UK will be invited to share their experience in promoting tourism on social networks. The annual Mekong Tourism Award will honor travel firms from Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, and Myanmar in recognition of their contributions to tourism. Over the past 11 years, the expo opened up opportunities for major tourism cities of Bangkok, Phnom Penh, Vientiane, Yangon, and Ho Chi Minh City to link up with each other.
About 180 outstanding children from Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia have gathered at International Exchange Program in Ho Chi Minh City.
Entitled Vòng tay bạn bè, Friends Arms, the 5-day event aims to strengthen the international solidarity and friendship as well as the traditional bond among the three countries. Participating children will have a chance to learn about the history and cultural tradition of Ho Chi Minh City in particular and Vietnam in general. Under the program, the children will visit historical relic sites, museums, and traditional trade villages in the city and take part in several cultural and art exchange activities. Such activities will help the young generation to gain more knowledge about the culture, history, and friendship of the three countries.
And that's wrap up our news bulletin. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye for now.